95, 96, 97.3 Citi FM. It doesn't get any better than that.
Citi 97.3.
Accra. Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Citi News.
.3 Citi FM. Hello, good evening, and welcome to Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. My name is Sammy Wiafi, and tonight I'm here with
Eno Safo.
Coming up in the next 1 hour, 30 minutes.
I think in this country, to my understanding, you can never eliminate those small minings. If you use small minings, there will always have illegalities involved in it.
The verdict of the Chinese ambassador to Ghana, who says Ghana can never end Galamsey but can only manage the environmental impact. Also coming up.
So because I am helping. If I'm struggling, can you do it? If I'm struggling, I have made an attempt. That is why I am not making an attempt. Then allow me, I would want to make an attempt.
The never-ending drama between the chairman of the appointments committee, Bernard Ahiafo, and his ranking member, Alexander Apenyo Market. Later on Eyewitness News.
My only wish is that it's done, twice a month, 3 times a month, monthly, so that we can rope up the interest. But I must commend Citi for doing it.
Thousands thrown the for Sutherland Children's Park for Channel 1 TV's Agri-fair 2025 with a call for the event to be organized every month. Stay with 97.3 Citi FM for more on these stories and others on Eyewitness News. Also coming up in business.
BOG calls for stronger cybersecurity integration to safeguard financial inclusion.
Eyewitness News is live on our affiliates across the country, around the globe. We are on citynewsroom.com. Talking about affiliates, if you are in the Upper West region, you can hear us on Tumpani Radio 88.5 FM in Adoli, as well as Jirapa 96.1 FM. In the Upper East region, hear us on Recast 92.1 FM in Bongo. In the Northern region, North Star Radio 92.1 FM in Tamale. In the Northeast region, Nobia 98.1 FM. In the Western region, hear us on Beach 105.5 FM and Sky 93.5 FM, both in Takrady. In the Ashanti region, we are live on Focus 94.3 FM and Orange 107.9 FM, or in Kumasi. In the Volta region, Salat Radio 91.1 FM in Dabala and Holy 98.5 FM in Aflao. In the Savannah region, you can hear us on Kasha 99.5 FM in Damango. You can also join the conversation with your WhatsApp messages 0549 986 996 0549 986 996. Eno has our first story.
The Chinese ambassador to Ghana, Tong Defa, says Ghana can never eliminate illegal mining or Galamsey because of its economic gains. He's therefore urging government to find ways to manage the environmental impact. Addressing journalists at a media interaction, Tong Defa blamed Guineans for the deepening Galamsey crisis, insisting that locals are the ones facilitating the illegal activities. He rejected claims that Chinese nationals are rather destroying the environment.
I do not know what's the reason why when people say Galamsey, they normally equals that with Chinese. But actually, it is not Chinese who, the issue is not originated from Chinese. I mean, you can see those mining, Chinese people cannot get the license, cannot get the permit. It's the Ghanaian people who draw Chinese people over here, and some of those people who are even caught red-handed, even though they are caught red-handed, they're just some like migrant workers to come here to make a living. I'm not treated well because they always say, because I have a social media, when I posted X on my social media, then people say, "Hey, Ambassador Galamsey, it seems Galamsey is crossed by China. So this is unfair to me. Am I correct? This is unfair to me. This is really unfair to me, and unfair to the majority of Chinese. They have involved a lot of sectors. You can say, a lot of buildings built by Chinese companies, your roads built by Chinese companies, your port built by Chinese companies. But is any normal Ghanaian people know about this? Or even they know it, they always say Galamsey. They always say Galamsey. We need to view this thing as a whole picture. We need to find ways to solve this problem. I understand in this country there are several million people live on the mining. So all the sectors, all government officials, policies, we should work for a long policy how to solve the problem. To eliminate those pollution, to eliminate this pollution on the soil, on the rain, waterways, on the forests. We should find a way to solve these problems. I think in this country, to my understanding, you can never eliminate those small minings. If you use small minings, there will always have illegalities involved in it.
The Chinese ambassador to Ghana, Tong Defa.
The Chinese ambassador making the point clear that indeed, as Ghanaians who facilitate these Chinese nationals to come into the country and involve themselves in Galamsey. In a short, I will speak to Engineer Ken Ashibe of the coalition of persons against illegal mining, or the fight against illegal mining. We'll speak to him shortly. But then this is the point the Chinese ambassador is making. And the argument for many other people is that indeed it is the same Ghanaians who go and bring these Chinese nationals to come in and then come and do the Galamsey in this country. In a short, I will speak to some resource persons on this particular subject matter. But let's hear the Chinese ambassador again, making the point in there that Ghana can never eliminate Galamsey or end Galamsey. And also, it is the Ghanaians who bring in the Chinese to come and get themselves involved in illegal mining or Galamsey.
I do not know what's the reason why when people say Galamsey, they normally equals that with Chinese. But actually, it is not Chinese who, the issue is not originated from Chinese. I mean, you can see those mining, Chinese people cannot get the license, cannot get the permit. It's the Ghanaian people who draw Chinese people over here, and some of those people who are even caught red-handed, even though they are caught red-handed, they're just some like migrant workers to come here to make a living. I'm not treated well because they always say, because I have a social media, when I posted X on my social media, then people say, hey, Ambassador Galamsey, it seems, Galamsey is caused by China. So this is unfair to me. Am I correct? This is unfair to me. This is really unfair to me. And unfair to the majority of Chinese. They have involved a lot of sectors. You can say, a lot of buildings built by Chinese companies, your roads built by Chinese companies, your port built by Chinese companies. But is any normal Ghanaian people know about this? Or even they know it, they always say Galamsey. They always say Galamsey. We need to view this thing as a whole picture. We need to find ways to solve this problem. I understand in this country there are several million people live on the mining. So all the sectors, all government officials, policies, we should work for a long policy how to solve the problem. To eliminate those pollution, to eliminate this pollution on the soil, on the rain waterways, on the forests. We should find a way to solve these problems. I think in this country, to my understanding, you can never eliminate those small minings. If you use small minings, there will always have illegalities involved in it.
So that was a Chinese ambassador to Ghana, His Excellency Ton Tefa, speaking to journalists at his residence today, where he called for some media interaction in respect of recent developments in the fight against Galamsey and the involvement of Chinese involved in this whole Galamsey fight. We'll come back to this particular conversation and speak to some resource person. But then you had a Chinese ambassador to Ghana, Ton Tefa, who was having a media interaction with some journalists at his official residence today. We'll come back to this particular conversation and speak to some resource persons on it. But before that, let's go to some other stories.
Members of the Health Accounting Staff Association of Ghana are threatening to embark on an industrial action over delays in finalizing their conditions of service. According to the association, negotiations have been stalled for more than 8 months due to the Fair Wages and Salary Commission's failure to respond to repeated requests to resume talks that began in November 2023. The leadership of the association is demanding that the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission engage them by Monday, June 23, to resume and conclude negotiations.
Let's speak to the National Secretary of the Health Accounting Staff Association of Ghana, Sichofia Kofi Fiawomini, on this matter. But correct me if I'm right. Is that the right name?
Yeah, Sichofia Kofi Fiawomini.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes.
First of all, tell us this group, Health Accounting Staff Association of Ghana. What do you do?
Yeah, we are accountants and internal auditors in the Ministry of Health, Ghana Health Service, Crystal Health and Association of Ghana, or the health fraternity of the health service in Ghana.
So you work in hospitals?
We work in the hospitals, the district health directorates, the regional health directorates, the training institutions, and the mission hospitals as well.
So we'll go to all the institutions that you've mentioned. We'll find your members there.
Yes.
Okay.
You will find our members in all the regions.
Okay.
All over the country, yes.
Okay. Now you want the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission to organize a meeting between you and themselves over your condition of service. What are these conditions of service you talk about?
Okay. As a worker that is employed, definitely you expect that even though you are paid salaries, there are certain things you do that you should enjoy as a benefit from your employer. And so, just like other unions have been benefiting without being biased, not mentioning any of them, maybe you know most of them, of recent you have read in the news. They have made certain requests to the fair wages, which their request was granted by the implementation delay. We have also made similar request to fair wages through our employer. Then we are yet to agree on the financials, even though we have signed the rules of engagement on the 15th of July 2024, and also agreed on the non-financials on the 29th, 30th, and 31st of October 2024. The financials aspect was what was left, which we expected to complete in November 2024, but couldn't happen. And then we went into the national elections, change of government and stuff. So we waited for the new government to form, and then we made follow-ups severally, officials and then unofficials visits to the office to find out how things are going on. And so we realized that there is undue delay for that aspect than the financial aspect to be done. And so we wrote to National Labour Commission to step in, and they have written to Fair Wages, which they have written a letter inviting us to complete the financial aspect of the negotiation on the 12th of June 2025. Unfortunately, having gotten to the venue of the meeting, we were just told the meeting has been called off and no specific date of was given to us as to when it will be held. We waited and have written letters of displeasure and stuff. And so the current letter we have written was based on a response we received that still they have not stated the date for which we should have that meeting. So we have written and proposed a date of 23rd, by which, if nothing is done, we will follow the due process of the law, and probably, if need be, an industrial action will follow. So basically, these are our plea, and our members are so much agitated. Working in the same institution, when somebody belongs to another union and is enjoying some allowances that he is also supposed to enjoy because he's working in the same establishment, and he's not enjoying just because hours have not been approved. And then it serves as a disincentive to them, and a lot of them are saying that if that is the case, then I don't see the need to belong to Hazard, but I need to move to another union. And it will not augur well with us if our members start leaving to join other unions for the simple reason that we've not been able to meet their needs in terms of the condition of service. And so that is why the pressure from the ground is so high, and we need to push in hard for this thing to be done, so that we can maintain our members and they can also have peace at work and carry on with it.
What is your expectation that on Monday, June 23rd, when you go and meet the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission, what should happen?
Our expectations are that that June 23rd, they agreed that we should have the meeting and conclude the negotiation and have the agreement reached. Then we will continue and we'll tell our members that we have signed the agreement now. There's a lot of implementation. Let's wait, and then implementations will come on. But should this not happen, that is what I stated earlier, that the law has laid down rules for us to follow. We will follow the due process and then initiate whatever action we need to initiate with the full backing of our council, who is the highest decision-making body of our council, and then the leadership.
Recently, nurses were on strike, members of the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association, and the government said that the request or the demands they are making for the implementation of their condition of service was not captured in the budget. In the circumstances where even the nurses issue did not, reflect in the budget, what makes you so sure that negotiating with Fair Wages and Salaries Commission and getting the implementation that will be captured in the budget?
Yeah, so definitely it should be captured because we have, as a nation, we have a media budget that will be presented to Parliament and that will be approved. So when these negotiations are done and captured, I'm sure in the media budget, provisions will be made for it for our members to benefit. And even the next one, if that one is not captured, maybe something could be done. But I'm just speaking to my own. And once we have reached the agreement with fair wages, then during the media budget review, I am quite sure that will be factored into the media budget review and implementation will be smooth.
In the unlikely event that you go on a strike, as you stated in your letter, what is going to happen in the hospitals?
My brother, you can imagine what will happen.
Because I'm asking this because because when the nurses went on strike, we saw the impact. So in the event that members of the Health Accounting Staff Association decide to go on strike, what will happen in the hospitals? Why there'll be no accountants, or just give us a picture how it's going to be like?
In the event that we have to go on strike, definitely there will not be any accounting duties. And if there is no accounting duties, before services are rendered to you, a bill will be presented to you to go and make payment, produce receipts before you pick your medication and stuff like that. And if there is no accountant or accounting staff around to do that, if there is no internal auditor is around to verify whatever bill has been given to you, definitely the service cannot be rendered to the person. It's going to cause a lot of issues. So definitely it's going to have a great impact. It's going to have a great impact.
Okay, thank you very much for your time. The National Secretary of the Health Accounting Staff Association of Ghana, Sechofia Kofi Fiawonu, speaking to us there. This is Eyewitness News coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. We go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll do some more stories.
News. Be there as it happens.
Still unbeatable. Republic Bank has slashed the Citi mortgage interest rate to a new low. That means it's more affordable to own your dream home. You enjoy lower monthly installments, save on interest payments, flexible loan arrangements, and more. Make the move. Own your home at a lower teen interest rate. But hurry, this offer lasts for a limited time. Visit any Republic Bank branch or send email to myhome@republicghana.com or call Accra 054-0109-649. Kumasi 054-0109-901 to apply today and enjoy a teen interest rate. Republic Bank, with the one for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the game of choices. Listen with rapt attention. Round 1, question 1. Elevator or stairs?
Stairs.
Now the second question. Less than 4 hours or at least 6 hours of sleep at night?
At least 6 hours of sleep.
The last question. Yummy yogurt or...
Yogurt, of course.
I'm not done.
No, me. That's my choice. Yummy yogurt.
Life is full of choices. Always remember that the choices we make today shape our tomorrow. Whether it's a morning start, a midday snack, or a dessert, our delicious Yummy yogurt is here to nourish you. Yummy, a nourishing choice. This advert is FDA approved.
Oh, jump on now. Go. Ugomi, now what time will you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car? No, I don't change my car. It be the same ride. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, so this is the type of fuel where they want to. Cause now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind says be the 3-in-1 action. No, Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open it. So where can I find this magical fuel? Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you. Hey, they make a finish my go be fast they rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why you hand my go be inside? I give you info. Make a feel the go be too small. Go. And Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
From back in the day when Afro hair was trending and children had to queue to play Kojo's video game, Fun Milk was always irresistible. Today, it's an after-school source of refreshment for you stuck in traffic and for us looking to cool off under the sun. The invitation is always that sound. So, whatever your choice, Fun Milk quality products keeps you cool and refreshed. Fun Milk triggers so much fun and excitement with just a blast of a horn. Fun Milk, spreading joy to everyone. This advert is FDA approved.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
You're welcome back. You're still listening to Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. Let's go back to our earlier story where the Chinese ambassador to Ghana says Ghana can never end the fight against illegal mining or Galamsey because of the economic gain. He's therefore urging government to find ways of managing the environmental impact. Let's speak to Dr. Ken Ashibe. He's the convener of the Ghana Coalition Against Galamsey. Doc, good evening. Thank you very much for your time. Now, the Chinese ambassador says we should forget about ending the Galamsey fight. At best, we should just manage the economic impact. What's your reaction to this?
Well, I want to disappoint the Chinese ambassador. But again, listening to the entire clip, I think he states some very painful truths that we need as Ghanaians need to accept. That the Chinese do not come here on their own. We go and bring them in here, and we are complicit in the damage that they're doing. And then there are also some Chinese people who are doing some great jobs. There are Chinese companies that are involved in different facets of our economy, building roads, and even in the mining sector, there are some Chinese firms that are doing very great jobs. So you have the likes of Xinjiang. Xinjiang, for example, have been mining here, because they worked in a forest preserve, for example. They have mined about 111 hectares of land. They want to take another 317 hectares, more than 200 hectares more. And out of that, about 60 hectares are ready to be commissioned, this year, and the rest of it will be done next year. So that those positive sides of the Chinese companies that are working positively, responsibly. But he cannot run away from the fact that the Chinese there have been some Chinese elements. He decides to call them, migrant workers. Yeah, but they are Chinese. The fact that they are migrant workers, they are not companies, doesn't mean they are not Chinese. So there are those elements. If you take the days of the Operation Vanguard, you look at the reports that were shared, a lot of these people, foreigners who are arrested, many of them are Chinese. And so he cannot run away from that. Then you also have, even very recently, you remember Nabishu's encounter. It's for all Chinese. There's been a lot of Chinese that have been arrested. And he cannot be telling us about the conditions of our prisons. Whether they are bad or not, these are the conditions of our prisons. And so if people are arrested, they go up against our laws. They have to be dealt with. And I'm not too sure his posture. That you would have the Ghanaian diplomat go to China, and Ghanaians would be involved in an illegality, and this is the posture. And we're disappointed. His Excellency the President, the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, the IGP, the work that they are doing currently is to deal with the issues of Galamsey. And in with the media, the civil society, and all of us, we can solve the issues of Galamsey. That is not true that the issues of Galamsey cannot be dealt with. It definitely would be dealt with. And we should all resolve, and we should be supporting and deal with even some Chinese mining firms that currently are being impacted by Galamsey. Is he saying that he wants Chinese firms who have invested their monies to be going through this? It cannot be happening like that. And so that is something that he should be supporting us to be able to do. But definitely for us who live in this country, he would come and he will leave. We will not allow that to happen. That we will not be able to resolve Galamsey. Yes, it's a difficult one. Yes, it's a tough one. But we need to make sure that we do everything that we have to do to resolve the issues of Galamsey. What we are doing is not sustainable. It's an existential threat.
But then, Doug, we started the aggressive fight against Galamsey somewhere in 2017. Until date, we are still fighting. We haven't won the fight. And there are many who have even predicted that there's no way really we can end this fight because of the key involvement of certain people well connected in society as far as this whole trade of Galamsey is concerned. So the Chinese ambassador may be speaking the truth that at best we can just manage the environmental impact, but then ending it may be difficult.
No, so again, I think the Chinese ambassador should realize the fact that there are some small-scale miners who are doing a good job. And we can have small-scale mining done responsibly, legally, and in power with the environment. That can happen. The fact that we do artisanal mining, small-scale mining, does not mean that, it cannot be done responsibly. We have had situations where, again, I gave you an example of a Chinese mine who went into a forest reserve. If you go into the places that they have now reclaimed, you have the likes of Chirano, you have the likes of Newmont. You go into places that they have gone in and reclaimed, you won't believe that that's happening. But it is the things that happen where we are losing about $11.4 billion, into smuggling. That is not something we can continue. Where we have the turbidity of water going to 14,000 NTUs, it is not something we can contain. That cannot be managed in any way. And definitely for him as an ambassador, what he should be doing is to helping us resolve this issue and not speaking the way he's speaking. Yes, it's a difficult one, and that is why all of us should take the invitation that has been given to us by the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources to support this particular fight and making sure that we are calling out. And you are right. The thing about it is that the politically exposed persons, the powerful people in there, His Excellency the President called them the kingpin in October last year when he addressed the media in Kempinski Hotel. We need to be going after them. That is why, for us as a coalition, we're happy that when we raise issues about counter-mining, at least one of the directors have been arrested. But where are the second director? There's a second director of counter-mining. Where are the MPP people who are in Professor Finko Boateng's report? Why have they all not been arrested? Where are the NDC people who are also in it? The NDC MP for our win. He's been accused by his chiefs of being involved in Galamsey. He has counter-accused the chiefs. Why is it that those people have not been called, investigations happen, and prosecution taking place? Why is it that the NDC constituency chairman for Azim, who has been accused of trespassing on one of the large-scale mines and involved in Galamsey, why have they not been dealt with? Why is it that the NDC constituency chairperson for Dunkwao, who confronted military people who have been sent to go and do a lawful duty, that was reported by Rastas, why is it that he has not been called upon? So all of that has to happen. I am seeing a report that says that the Minister for Lands is saying the issue about a KPI for MCs and DCs being Galamsey, that has been picked up. I would want to add to it the issues about the police commanders. The IGP told us about the transfer. What's happening to those transfers? And any community, any district, the district commander, the divisional commander, the regional commanders, if Galamsey is happening, and they have to go with the MCs and the DCs in there. It means they are either incompetent or complicit. And so we need to work at this and ensure, and all of us as citizens too, we need to start, letting our voices be heard. We cannot allow, this statement made by the Chinese ambassador to become what our condition is. That is an existential threat. It will take us out.
Doc, before I let you go, do you think, in defending his own people, obviously he will come and defend it, but then do you think it's about time government considers, a stance against decision to rather deport these Chinese who are involved in crime, including Galamsey, than have them prosecuted here in this country?
Well, this should tell us, the Minister for Interior, that particular policy, whether it is because of what the ambassador is saying, it's counterintuitive, it's counter-beneficial. So what he's saying is that a lot of the Chinese are going to be coming. He calls them migrant workers. They are going to be coming. And then when they come in, we would be, Ghanaians will go into the jail that the ambassador is complaining about, but we would then deport these people and they will come back again. So we need to reconsider it. I say this severally, that if you go for a Malaysian passport, when they give you a visa, Malaysian visa, when they give you the visa, the stamp in it, the visa says that if you go into their country with drugs, it is death sentence. We need to make sure that we communicate to the foreigners that when you come into this country, our prisons are so bad that when you come in, that's where you're going to land in. If you're a foreigner and you come in, and you're going to go in for 25 years, the maximum that the Minerals and Mining Act says, and then there's going to be a fine, all your assets are going to be confiscated. We need to start that. So it's important that the Minister for Interior reconsidered that policy directive. And I'm happy that the group that are in court, trying to make sure that there's a decision that is taken on that, so that we know that what is the right thing that is in the interest of all of us as a people is done.
At your press conference somewhere this week, either yesterday or two days ago, you raised the issue about the state of emergency again, the call for government to begin considering that option. What really are you asking government to do aside the
So again, you see, you have the situation where Dr. Anabisu, if it was not for her bravery and I'm pretty sure God's intervention, look at what happened. And she says that the police commander was the one who rallied these mercenaries, thugs, people who are really well armed. And there are elements, there are pockets of our country where there are these elements that are coming up. And so that moves from the ecological and environmental threat that we're talking about to a national security crisis. So if you institute the state of emergency on those water bodies, the people are desecrating and spoiling, then you give the government, the president, extra power to be able to deal this more decisively with that. You remember that the EPA CEO asked for 5 helicopters. You will be able to do that a lot more decisively under a state of emergency in some parts of our country. In the one in Ukraine, the Jerusalem, the Port Hassan, the intelligence we have, is that the people have gone back into those places. So you need to be able to, in those pockets of places, make sure that you are empowering the state, the president. We can take a leaf from the book of the UK, where during their routes, that crisis that happened, they had courts within 24 hours. When you are arrested, you are taken to those courts. When you are found guilty, you are jailed. So if we have those special powers, those special state under the state of emergency in parts, we're not saying in all of the country or even in the whole district, the areas that are currently out of control, make sure those places are no-go areas. Then you're able to give the choppers that the EPA chief executive talks about, get into those places and deal decisively with those people who are involved in this. And the situation is even been made worse. That now we know that in the last 5 years, under the MPP regime, we lost $11.4 billion. You know what that could have done for us? You know what that amount of money could have done for us? The DPP would not have needed to do that. The haircuts that we gave to people would not have needed to do that. This current government would not have had to increase the stabilization levy for some mining companies that are struggling. It would not have done that, to 3%. That 11.4 billion would have been able to change a lot of the things. How much are we getting from the IMF? 3 billion? And then you're talking about 11.4 billion lost in a year. That is averagely about, how much, 12 divided by 5. That's what you're losing on an annual basis. And this is just in just a few areas. So it is important that we consider, the IGP tells us that we are in a state of war. The Minister for Lands and Natural Resources tells us this is terrorism. When you have war and terrorism at your gates, you use that tool of a state of emergency to give the president special powers to be able to deal with it.
Doc, there are many who have also said that one of the best ways to deal with this issue of Galamsey is to adopt the shoot-to-kill approach. They believe that if we should adopt this, it will minimize, if not end at all, it will minimize this whole Galamsey fight. What's your take on this proposal?
I would not go for a shoot to kill. I would not go for a shoot to kill. What I have said is that we could use non-lethal force in some of these areas. So one of the things I profess that we could our military, on flying in choppers, whether they are drones and all of that, give them ammunition that are non-lethal, but that will be able to penetrate a PPE that you're wearing. Make sure that in those ammunitions, once they fire it at you, it will explode and the dye will be in it. An indelible dye that would color your skin, that everybody will know that you've gone to those Galamsey places. And then also it will have an itching element that would make sure that these people will itch so badly that they would have to go to hospital. Then those people will be arrested. Then we want to make sure that the law acts. So His Excellency the President, the Attorney General, and all of that, they need to be decisive, to ensure that we are dealing with the politically connected people. If any DCE, MCE, police commander were arrested by this time, if all of those people that the media have named have been arrested and prosecutions are taking place, you will be sure that people will stop doing it. You have people in the past government, their support working report is replete with people.
But Doc, that is the problem. The inability to arrest these people who are linked is the problem. Is it that?
So that is why for us as journalists, one of the things we also should start doing a lot more of, and we need to get a lot more of, these investigative journalists being able to do a lot more of the investigation. And we also need the intelligence community. They should follow the money. They should track the money. Who are the people who are importing all of these excavators? Not the large tonnage excavators that the large-scale miners use, but the smaller excavators that are used in destroying our land. Who are the people who go to court to go and bail these people who are caught in the port? And so the intelligence community can help be able to track that money. This thing has become organized crime. The money laundering involved. And we need to track all of that so that we'll be able to identify all the people who are involved in it.
Doc, as always, thank you very much for your time. Dr. Ken Ashibe is the convener of the Ghana Coalition Against Galamsey, reacting to a statement made by the Chinese ambassador to Ghana. He held a press conference or a media interaction today and then said that the fight against Galamsey can never end in this country. At best, Ghana can only manage the environmental impact. Let's hear him again.
I do not know what's the reason why when people say Galamsey, they normally equals that with Chinese. But actually, it is not Chinese who, the issue is not originated from Chinese. I mean, you can see those mining, Chinese people cannot get the license, cannot get the permit. It's the Ghanaian people who draw Chinese people over here, and some of those people who are even caught red-handed, even though they are caught red-handed, they're just some like migrant workers to come here to make a living. I'm not treated well because they always say, because I have a social media, when I posted X on my social media, when people say, "Hey, Ambassador Galamsey, it seems Galamsey is crossed by China. So this is unfair to me. Am I correct? This is unfair to me. This is really unfair to me, and unfair to the overwhelming majority of Chinese. They have involved a lot of sectors. You can see, you can say, a lot of buildings built by Chinese companies, your roads built by Chinese companies, your port built by Chinese companies. But is any normal Ghanaian people know about this, or even they know it, they always say Galamsey. They always say Galamsey. We need to view this thing as a whole picture. We need to find ways to solve this problem. I understand in this country there are several million people live on the mining. So all the sectors, all government officials, policies, we should work for a long policy how to solve the problem, to eliminate those pollution, to eliminate this pollution on the soil, on the rain, waterways, on the forests. We should find a way to solve these problems. I think in this country, to my understanding, you can never eliminate those small minings. If you use small minings, there will always have illegalities involved in it.
The Chinese ambassador to Ghana, Tong Tefa, speaking to journalists in Accra. Let's read some of your text messages. The Chinese ambassadors claim that Ghana cannot fight illegal mining due to financial gains is, to say the least, insulting and unacceptable. Ghana is a sovereign nation and will take no orders from foreign envoys. Any Chinese or foreign national caught in Galamsey will face the law. This is from Daniel in Sandema. Patrick from Tema East. Kindly tell Ken Ashibe to stop wasting our ears. He talks. I can take this one. BB from North Carnegie says the way we are fighting Galamsey Mr. Shibe and his coalition is pushing can succeed. The argument is not that it's good, but we are fighting it in the wrong way. Can the coalition think of a different way? Otuo from Abeka says, I very much agree with part of what the Chinese ambassador said. Dr. Shibe and co don't seem to have any other strategy apart from the Buga Buga, which we have realized have never succeeded. We need to have a plan for alternative mining. Let's get serious. Alasa from Alasa says, I agree with the Chinese ambassador 100% because most of the leaders are Galamsey lords themselves. Now, Alex from Adenta Commando Research says, what at all does the minority want? Okay, we've not read there yet. Let's go to Akapo from him says, the Chinese ambassador is only trying to shed blames. He should understand that there are laws in this country and our laws will deal ruthlessly with any foreigner caught engaging in illegal mining in our forest zone. And then Alasa, okay, what the Chinese ambassador is saying is the truth. It will be very, very difficult to fight Galamsey in Ghana. And the final one from Malik in Samini in the northeast region says, the government should try its best to sack all the Chinese miners from the mining sites and give you the civilians the chance to go to the mining site. Interesting. This is Eyewitness News coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, Eno has some more stories.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
New Kivo Hot Pepper Powder. Loco show. This advert is FDA approved.
Charlie, where are you?
Bossman, I'm at the bank.
Really? But your car is in front of your house.
Bro, my bank on my phone, Charlie.
Oh, how?
EcoBank, bro. With EcoBank mobile app, I can do everything, anywhere, anytime. Listen, I just checked my account balance, paid Ahmed's school fees, and sent money to my grandma at Walwale.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Masa, just download the EcoBank mobile app from the Google Play Store or the App Store or dial *770# and be your own bank manager.
Manager.
Whether to pay bills or fees, to check account statements, send money across Ghana, abroad and more, EcoBank mobile app has got it covered. EcoBank mobile, making everyday people live everyday lives the EcoBank way. EcoBank, the Pan-African bank.
Are you ready to lead like never before?
Ready to master the art of strategy and inspire teams that thrive?
It's the Management Bootcamp 2025.
An exclusive high-impact training for mid to senior pros.
Learn from Ghana's finest industry minds, brought to you by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 Citi FM.
From the trusted voices of excellence, Citi FM and Channel 1 TV comes an elite training experience designed to sharpen your strategy, leadership, and communication.
Make a date for the Management Bootcamp 2025 from Sunday the 22nd of June to Saturday the 28th of June 2025. The venue is the Platinum Bay and Passion Base Hotels.
Call 0242-011-424 to register now.
The Management Bootcamp 2025. Lead forward. The Management Bootcamp 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV with support from 97.3 Citi FM.
Are you feeling tired after a hard day's work? Have you lost your appetite even for your favorite dish? Viral Blood Tonic is a nutritionally balanced, pleasant tasting tonic fortified with iron and vitamins to boost your appetite and energy levels for high performance. Viral Blood Tonic, easy to take and good for the family. Viral from Danex Iting Starwin PLC. If symptoms persist after 48 hours, consult a physician. This advert is FDA approved.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're welcome back. You're still listening to Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. My name is Sami Riafi, and tonight I'm here with Eno Safo, who has some more stories.
Let's head to Parliament now, where there were light-hearted moments during the vetting of Supreme Court Judge nominee Justice Kweku Teria Akabua for today, when an attempt to recite the National Pledge turned into a friendly struggle involving members of Parliament's Appointments Committee. The moment was triggered when Minority Leader Alexander Penyumarkin asked the nominee to recite the National Pledge following his call for Ghanaians to embrace patriotism in a remark during his vetting. Caught off guard, Justice Akabua responded he was not sure he could recite it, drawing laughter from the committee.
Can you recite it?
Mr. Chair, I'm not sure I'm able to recite it.
I'll try with which aspect, not the full, any. Well, what you can.
My brother. Yes, the nominee is honest to say that I will not be able to recite it. So why will you insist? I mean, an honest answer has been given. I wouldn't be able to do this, but do it. No.
Lord, I did not say that in spite of you saying you can't recite it in full, you should still recite it. In spite of what is telling us that you can't recite it in full, you should still recite it in full. That was not the mainstay. I only said, share with that those aspects that immediately comes to mind. Did you get what the point? That I only said the aspects that readily comes to mind. You've admitted that not in full. So which aspect readily comes to mind?
I promise on my honor to be faithful
and loyal
to Ghana, my motherland. Thank you.
I promise to hold in high esteem our heritage.
Our heritage won for us
through the blood of our
exactly.
I promise to hold in high esteem
won for us
all of our fathers. Yes. And I promise, pledge myself in all things to be faithful
and loyal
to uphold and defend the good name of Ghana. So help me God. Because I am helping. If you know, no, stop. Chairman, put off your mind. This is, look at, okay. If I'm struggling, can you do it? If I'm struggling, I have made an attempt. If he said he couldn't, and I said, oh, an aspect. You are now telling me that
that is why I am not making an attempt.
Then allow me, I would want to make an attempt.
Because I don't want to struggle.
Don't worry, I would want to boldly make an attempt. When I make a mistake, I be corrected. I'm not afraid to make a mistake. It's good to make a mistake to be corrected.
But let me say this, honorable member, I think that in as much as a pledge, it's a great thing for all of us to know. I'm not sure Ghanaian patriotism must be anchored in our ability to recite the pledge only.
You heard Supreme Court nominee Justice Akabua, ranking member on the Appointments Committee Alexander Penyumarkin, and chairman of the Appointments Committee Bernard Ahiafo. The minority in Parliament has requested that the Minister for Energy and Green Transition and the Minister for Finance appear before the House to discuss the potential impact of the Israel-Iran war on Ghana's economy. Speaking on the floor of Parliament today, Minority Leader Alexander Penyumarkin says an update from the ministers would help lawmakers make informed decisions.
Only yesterday, we were told that the Ukrainian-Russian war has no impact at all on our economy. That was what we were told only yesterday. So, Mr. Speaker, we want the majority leader to program these two ministers to appear before Parliament and update Parliament of these happenings on our economy. Mr. Speaker, what we want to achieve is that this update will guide us in how we communicate with our constituents. Mr. Speaker, this is a very short meeting. This meeting is a short meeting, and we are going to have a long break. You go to your constituency, they ask you about 1 job, 3 shifts. Why is it not coming? How would you answer? You go to your constituency, they ask you about the 24-hour economy. How would you answer?
Alexander Penyamakin is the minority leader in Parliament.
Now, thousands of Ghanaians today thrown to the F4 Southern Children's Park for Citi FM and Channel 1 TV's Agri-fair 2025. Patrons were happy, and many have asked that the event be organized every month. Let's go onto the ground and speak to Caleb Koda, broadcast journalist with Citi FM Channel 1 TV and co-host of the Citi Breakfast Show. Caleb, good evening. Thank you very much for your time. Tell us what happened today.
So, today has been a huge success. If you came here, I got here after the Citi Breakfast Show, and I was shocked to find the car park was filled to capacity. The whole place was packed. Several persons had come, patrons, to buy fresh farm produce, livestock, crop farm, crops and all of that. It's been a huge one. I was thinking by 10:30, 10:45 when I got here, it will be picking up steam and all, but around that time, some of the, produce had even run out and all of that. Apparently people had come really early and bought in bulk, and so we've had to deal with patrons who came complaining that look, plantain had finished around 10, by 12, 1, tomatoes had finished, but there was also a lot. Many of the vendors restocked. Some had to go back to their warehouse and bring so much more. So I think some of the vendors, if you speak to them, they tell you they underestimated the sheer demand for their produce on the Agri-fair, Channel 1 and Citi TV's Agri-fair. But tomorrow is the big one, and everyone is looking forward to it. Tomorrow and Sunday, don't forget we have next along the way where professionals, experts will be taking patrons through beekeeping, snail, and other clinics, basically people who are interested in farming, other things. So all that is going to happen tomorrow. Sessions will be happening. But for today, we've seen the opening has been such a massive success, and tomorrow will be much, much, much better. So you can't buy things at some great prices. A lot of the people tell us that they came from as far as Bexley, Oyibi, Lessons, and very far places. Others were closed, some from the ministries and all, because they work within the. So they came, got a lot to buy at prices they ordinarily wouldn't find on the market. And then also they were fresher, they were bigger, healthier, and well packaged, well put together, unlike what you see in the traditional market where foodstuffs are just on the ground and things like that. There were juices, so much to drink, and my goodness, the grills, they were amazing.
I knew you go there. I knew you go there.
So if you miss today, tomorrow is your chance, Sunday is your chance. Please do not miss it. The Agri-fair, massive success, and we cannot wait to see you all right here at the F4 Southern Children's Park. As early as 6, we're all going to be here waiting to receive you. Security is, taking care of the car park and solid, so you have nothing to worry about. Tomorrow in particular, come with your kids because there'll be a lot to see. In fact, one of the highlights for me is the palm wine, because someone brought a whole palm tree, the stump, brought everything, and is tapping the thing for people to see the experience. I thought that was phenomenal. And for those who love their chicken, who love their poultry stuff, you have a lot of tilapia and catfish. All of that is on sale. And those who want to learn how to grow them also and sell, tomorrow all those sessions will be going on. So please, to all our listeners, do also pass by, because it's going to be a jam. And Kinchin Band will be here as well. Goodness, if you're not here tomorrow, I wonder where you'll be.
Sure, if you're not there tomorrow, you are definitely going to miss. Tomorrow we'll be there. Eno says she will come with the entire family, and I'll also be there with the entire family. Caleb, thank you very much. Caleb Koda is my colleague here at Citi FM and Channel 1 TV. He's currently at the Fosaland Children's Park, where day 1 of the 2025 edition of the Agri-fair took place. The success of this event, for many have called that, many have asked that the event be organized every month. We are on again tomorrow, God willing, and then we'll end on Sunday. So come with your families, friends, and loved ones. Come and buy fresh goods from the market. This is Eyewitness News coming to you live from our studio here in Accra. We'll go for business after this break.
This news, be there as it happens.
Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. City Business News. Be informed.
Time now for City Business News on Eyewitness News. I am Inusaf. Let's settle for the details. The Bank of Ghana is calling for stronger integration of cybersecurity protocols across the financial sector to address growing risks. The central bank's position follows an uptick in cybersecurity threats, which it identifies as a constraint to advancing financial inclusion. Speaking on behalf of the governor of the 2025 African Financial Inclusion Policy Initiative meetings, First Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Zachary Mumuni, said coordinated efforts are required to mitigate the impact of cyber threats on financial systems.
Cybersecurity threats do not respect borders. No country, however advanced, can confront them alone. That is why regional coordination through platforms like AFI are indispensable. Through peer learning, harmonized supervision, and shared intelligence, we are building a collective response that reflects our unique regional realities. We must continue to invest in common frameworks for early warning and incident reporting, scenario-based preparedness exercises, and proportionate regulation for fintechs and e-money providers. We also must have cooperative cross-border response mechanisms. At the global level, Africa's voice must be heard through our active participation in standard-setting bodies such as the FSB, the CPMI, IOSCO, and the G7 Cyber Experts Group. We are helping shape norms that reflect our context and challenges.
That was the First Deputy Governor of the BOG, Dr. Zachary Mumuni. The Poultry Farmers Association of Ghana is calling on the government to provide security to banks and other financial institutions to help local poultry farmers gain access to credit facilities. This follows calls by some agri-sector stakeholders urging banks to reduce lending rates for farmers to boost productivity. Management Committee Chairman of the Greater Accra Poultry Farmers Association, Kwame Ntim-Diodu, was speaking during the Agri Forum organized by Citi FM and Channel 1 TV under the theme Harnessing Agribusiness for Economic Growth, Expanding Ghana's Agribusiness Frontiers and Maximizing Productivity.
The banks are also in their own business, that they are also in there to make profit. They also will weigh where they have to invest. We want the government to provide the security to these banks for the banks to give us the loans. If the government can assure the banks that he will be the security collateral for the granting of loans to farmers, then that will be good enough for the banks to be able to give us the facilities that we need to expand the poultry business in Ghana. And the duty makes the commodities and these prices so high that they affect the overall production of the poultry, one poultry bird at a time. Yeah, so if the government can come in to reduce these taxes at the pound level, it will have an impact on the price of the final product.
That was the First Deputy, that was the City Business Festival 2025 is powered by Citi FM and Channel 1 TV with support from Absa Bank, MTN Ghana and Zondatech Ghana Limited. But that was the Management Committee Chairman of the Greater Accra Poultry Farmers Association, Kwame Ntim-Diodu. Away from that, the International Finance Corporation has partnered with Societe Generale Ghana PLC to strengthen financial support for cocoa buyers and promote sustainable farming, benefiting thousands of smallholder farmers. Under the deal, IFC will offer up to $40 million in local currency through a risk-sharing facility, unlocking up to $80 million in financing. This will enable licensed buying companies to purchase cocoa directly from farmers and enhance cash flow across the value chain. Societe Generale Ghana MD Hakeem Uzani said the move reflects IFC's confidence in the bank's role in supporting Ghana's cocoa sector.
This particular new collaboration is to support one particular strategic and sensitive sector for Ghana, which is the cocoa sector. And I'm very happy to see that IFC is committed with us for this initial envelope of $40 million, which will allow us to have a better accompaniment of our clients which are involved in the cocoa. And these LBCs that will support more than before will be thanks to this collaboration thanks to the support of IFC. This demonstrates once again that the collaboration can only be strengthened, and we can expect it to be even stronger in the future. I think that we will have other opportunities once again to continue and work together for the benefit of our clients, the benefit of the Ghanaian economy.
That was the Societe Generale Ghana MD Hakeem Uzani. In a strategic move to deepen access to home and vehicle financing, one of Ghana's leading commercial banks, Fidelity Bank, has officially opened its 3-day auto mortgage fair christened Wheels and Homes Expo 2025 at Good Park, located within the Accra Mall enclave. The fair aims to showcase Fidelity Bank's innovative mortgage and auto financing products designed to simplify the journey to home and car ownership through flexible repayment terms. Speaking to the media at the launch, Nana Esi Aiden Arkhurst, Divisional Director of Retail and Business Banking at Fidelity Bank, highlighted the bank's commitment to offering integrated lifestyle solutions tailored to the needs of today's customer.
We have been offering mortgages and auto loans for quite some time, but we realize that our customers really struggle when they are looking for vehicles or homes to buy. It's a long process to go through to find the right vehicle or home that matches what they are looking for before we then come and start the mortgage process. So we thought that as a key player and as the biggest indigenous bank, we saw the opportunity in this challenge and said we want to create a platform that brings everybody together. Us as a bank, together with the vendors in the space, insurance companies, and then provide a seamless platform and opportunity for our customers to come and have the opportunity to identify vehicles and homes of their choice, and on the spot provide the financing and special deals and offers for them and make their life simpler. We are working with our partners to offer very good deals. I've seen discounts of up to 200,000 on some of the homes. We are offering ridiculously low, jaw-dropping interest rates on our auto and mortgage loans at this fair.
That was the Divisional Director, Retail and Business Banking at Fidelity Bank, Nana Esi Arkhurst. And that's it for City Business News on Eyewitness News. I am Inusofu. Up next is Point Blank.
Detailed news, unparalleled coverage. City News on 97.3 FM.
Afternoon.
Oh, afternoon.
Please, Momo.
Deposit or withdrawal?
Withdrawal.
Ah, I like how you say withdrawal. How much?
500 Ghana.
Wow, I'll cash out.
Yes.
I feel ball number no mommy why.
0241 789.
Ah, nice one. Approve.
Please, the agent's name, is it Mipiska Bebe to Crime Ventures?
Hey, into what body meaning now?
She. My let's see. I have to verify.
Always confirm the name of the person you are receiving money from before accepting a request. If you receive a request from a friend to send money to an unfamiliar number, call to confirm before taking action. Do not share your number with strangers for the purpose of receiving e-cash in exchange for physical cash, because the source could be criminal and result in legal actions against you.
MTN.
Stronger brand you can trust. We got some more and get some more super. And the Polita every day.
Always the best.
Oh, jump on now.
Go. Ugomi, and what time when you can't park where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I don't change my car. It be the same right. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, so
this is the type of fuel where they want to. Cause now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it will protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind self be the 3-in-1 action. No, Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open it.
So where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, they make a finish my go be fast then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why you have my go be inside?
I give you info. Make a feel the go be too small.
Go.
And Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
From back in the day when Afro hair was trending and children had to queue to play Kojo's video game, Fun Milk was always irresistible. Today, it's an after-school source of refreshment for you stuck in traffic and for us looking to cool off under the sun. The invitation is always that sound. So, whatever your choice, Fun Milk quality products keeps you cool and refreshed. Fun Milk triggers so much fun and excitement with just a blast of a horn. Fun Milk, spreading joy to everyone. This advert is FDA approved.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Also listen to Citi 97.3 FM. This is Point Blank on Eyewitness News. Tonight on Point Blank, my guest is Otnel Eko Kwenu. He's the Member of Parliament for the Ekonfi constituency in the Central Region. He's also a member of the Trade, Industry and Tourism Committee of Parliament and then Office of Profit Committee as well in Parliament. A first-time Member of Parliament for the good people of the Ekonfi constituency. Otnel, good evening. Thank you very much for your time.
Good evening.
First time in Parliament?
Yes.
And how are you coping?
So far, I can say it's been good.
It's been good. What do you mean by it's been good?
Well, I mean, it's a new experience. Pretty much you get the kind of support that you require from leadership, which makes the job even more interesting. And I believe that they have our interests at heart, and definitely with that kind of commitment that we have, it will be easy for us to survive and be there for the test of time.
It's a difficult environment.
Well, it's a unique one for that matter, because it's an enclosed system, and with such situations, you always have to be on high alert, if I should use that word, to understand the workings of Parliament and be able to
reading the standing orders, getting to know them offhand.
Exactly. You have to be abreast with constitutional matters. And of course, your standing orders remains your Bible, as it were, as a member of Parliament. So it's a whole learning, and I think that it's an interesting place to be.
But you have a finance background, right?
Yes.
Okay, so someone with a finance background, I'm sure when these financial things come to the house, is a comfort zone for you then.
Oh, you can say that. You can say that. I really enjoy that part of the whole parliamentary work.
Well, you serve on the Trade and Industry Committee, which is a very important committee in Parliament. In recent time, the appreciation of the cedi against major trading currency, the dollar, the pounds, and the euro, and the rest. A lot of people have said that this government is doing well in respect of the measures put in place to see what we are seeing now. But the critics say that this is artificial, and as things evolve, which we are seeing on the global scene, the war between, or the missile exchange between Israel and Iran may change the dynamics now. Where you sit as someone with a financial background, how do you react to people who say this?
Well, I think I'm a firm believer in realities, and I think that nothing happens by chance. Definitely there will be some underlining. As somebody will say, there's no smoke without fire. Now, if you look at what has transpired over the past few days and weeks, I mean, clearly you can see that there has been a concerted effort seeing the impact of exchange rate, for that matter, on Ghana's economy. exchange rate plays a very pivotal role in everything. I mean, in terms of the fundamentals, interest rates is influenced by exchange rate to the extent of even inflation. Why would I say so? Now, if Ghana is largely an import-dependent economy, clearly imported inflation will come. If you import everything, definitely you take the hit. Now, if your currency depreciates, if you go and even clear your stuff at the port, there's an exchange rate element, so that also impacts you. And for that matter, if a bank is even lending money, inflation is key to them, and therefore it will be a factor for them to consider to even lend money to you. And if your exchange rate is bad, you are importing stuff at inflated what do you call it, exchange rates. Clearly, it will be factored into interest rates, and you as a customer, you have to take the hit.
Yeah.
So exchange rate is really key, and I think that considering what has happened in the past months, year to date, I think they've done around 20%. It's unprecedented. It hasn't happened before. And I think the finance minister is doing very, very well. The Bank of Ghana is also playing their role very well, and I mean, everybody must wish them well. And if you ask me, this is not just happening for the sake of it, because clearly, if you know the impact of exchange rate on Ghana's economy, and me as a politician, let me take into politics a bit, and you think that you are going for elections and the people want to see things become better, and you can do something about exchange rate, why would you not do it and take the big hit in the election? No way. So from what I've seen, I mean, if you look at it closely, you can see how fiscal policy and monetary policy are working closely. Now, beyond that, you look at how much fiscal consolidation the Ministry of Finance is doing. From a fiscal deficit of 7.9, we are targeting 3.1%. This is huge. I mean, if you look at that, they don't just spend; they spend on productive sectors of the economy, and that's why you see that all the fundamentals are beginning to improve. Today, I mean, the likes of S&P, Fitch have basically shown the way by letting the world know how much work is being done. Our debt restructuring is working. Today, our exchange rate is showing unprecedented appreciation against major foreign currencies. All these things is a reflection of where we are now. Today, we are B minus with a stable outlook. That tells you that something is happening. It's not by chance. It means that people are working, people are thinking about Ghana, making sure that things are working correctly. And that's how come we are having all these positives.
But many have also said that credit should be given to the previous administration, because some of these fundamentals were worked previously before this government is enjoying these windfalls. And so credit should be given to the former administration.
Well, if you listen to me closely, I mean, 2024 year end, fiscal deficit was about 7.9 billion. Today, we are looking at targeting 3.1 billion. Right? So every effort is going into it. If we had left it at 7.9, we wouldn't be where we are now. Clearly you can see exchange rate, we're doing like 17%. Today we are talking 10.5. That should tell you that something is happening. The Bank of Ghana is working with the Ministry of Finance. They are intervening in the market.
But they say that is a global thing. The dollar, depreciation against or the major currency and the rest is a global thing because of Trump's recent decision on tariff and the rest. So countries are beginning to adjust within their own system, and so it's really a global thing, not peculiar to Ghana.
Well, you can check. I mean, all the global currencies, Ghana still tops in terms of performance, and it's not that anybody who knows the benefit of exchange rate appreciation, right, would definitely want to do that. How come Ghana is the best? It means that we are doing something right. Clearly, yes, tariffs have come. I mean, Ghana, we are lucky. We are just taking about 10% of hit, which is better compared to what other people are suffering. And I think that generally Ghana has seen a bit of positives. I mean, I always say that remittances have improved, our commodity prices are positive. So these things are helping in terms of our surplus as a country. And even our balance of payments are seeing quite positive reactions from what is going on so far. So largely, I think that the government is on a positive trajectory. And I think that every Ghanaian should be happy about it. Today, if you go to the market, you can see our market women are trying to drop their prices. And being part of it, let me take you into my work on the trade and industry. I mean, we've seen the public's reaction as far as pricing on goods and services have been. and my chairman and basically the committee leadership took that opportunity and did a public hearing where we invited AGI, Guta, and the rest, basically to hear them and also to understand their concerns why pricing is not dropping. Yeah, they might have, I would say they might have some reason, because obviously in this world of business and markets, exchange rate can easily deplete all your resources. So if you show a bit of concern by playing the wait and see attitude, it's okay. But however, it becomes a worry when the exchange rate has performed largely 22% for 6 months, and you still don't see reason why you should drop your pricing. Then there's a problem.
You say it's artificial.
Well, 6 months cannot be artificial. Interestingly, I have been a foreign currency trader for 17 years, so I understand this market very well. We there's a lot of things that goes on, but what I'm seeing now is different from what we've seen in the past.
In previous years,
we've been advocating for this gold board thing for many years. Fortunately, this government comes and boom, it's here.
And that's a game changer.
You can see clearly that this is going to change things.
That's a game changer.
I strongly believe it's going to change a lot, because if all your gold exports, right, for those big companies, you have a retention of just around 10%.
Yeah.
Now, if the 40%, which is the local miners and all, comes to government, and government is the one who is dictating the pace in terms of selling and getting these proceeds back into Ghana, it gives you an indication of how much firepower, if I should say that, in foreign currency. You can intervene in the market. You can basically use it to support your reserves, and these are factors that make the currency strong. And for me, I think that gold board was really, really a very good thing, and I think that is really going to make a big change as far as our currency situation is.
But the previous administration also started something with the Bank of Ghana, also buying gold from these.
Yes, gold for oil.
Yeah, gold for oil, and then even at a point purchasing raw gold for reserve and the rest. Is it not similar to what gold board is currently doing?
Have you not wondered why with gold for oil the currency was still at 17%? Have you not wondered? For me, it's amazing how people might want to speak to that situation. However, you see, whatever decision you make must have an impact.
Yeah.
And if gold for oil was a good thing, yes, reserve wise it was good. We had our reserves from 0.8 to around 30 tons. Fine. Yeah. Those were positive, but the currency still stayed where it is, and that is a very big factor as far as the Ghanaian economy is concerned. Gold board comes in. 40% small scale miners and all. Today, they are expecting about 5.2 billion in just 4 months. Today, our reserves have shot up. Yes, the MPP did up to about 9 billion. Today, it's about 10.7 per the last MPC. Clearly, if we continue on this trajectory, we might have enough reserves. Any sort of demand that will come into the market, we are able to deal with it. So, what's your worry? We are home and dry. Today, your salary is looking more interesting.
You don't know my salary. You don't know my salary. You don't know my salary.
No, you don't know my salary. I don't know your salary. But the point is, today, if you are paid even 1,000 cedis, right, and you are having to buy FX at 17%, 17 cedis to $1. Today, you are doing 10, so you are better off. I've had a chance of doing some small computation. $250,000. From 17 to around 11.
That's how much you earn?
No, I'm just saying. It's just a small analysis we are doing. You are saving out 1.5 million just on 250,000 from 17 to like 11. That should tell you the magnitude of how much exchange rate plays quite a key role. So for me, I think that gold board is a good thing, and I think that we should commend the government for really come, because it took a lot of political will. In the past, being a trader, we tried to sell this idea to previous governments, but the will wasn't there because for various reasons. I don't want to go into it, but this government has really done it, and today we are all benefiting from the effects of the gold board and the market overall.
Let's talk about your committee, the Trade and Industry Committee. When you met Guta and the other interest agency, there was a general call that by 1st of July, we should see price of goods and services, drop because of recent development. Do they give you that assurance, or do you see that assurance coming to pass that 1st July will have a drastic reduction? At least we've seen the GPRTU start. Guta has given assurance that they are going to follow suit.
Well, I mean, from what I gathered, right, AGI is like the wholesale body as far as manufacturing and all those are concerned. Now, if you look at their cost structure, yes, exchange rate affects them because obviously looking at the material that they use for their production and all, definitely if you import, you take a hit. But you kind of gather from them that yes, because they benefit from economies of scale, the impact is not as great. But if you come to the level of Guta, where we have small business women, traders here and there, they are more of profit making entities, and therefore they see the exchange rate as quite a volatile thing for them, to the extent that if they are not careful, they are likely to deplete their funds. So whilst the AGI may be quick to respond, Guta and Co are a bit reluctant because they want to have that kind of certainty. But I still ask myself that 6 months for me is good enough for anybody to see that.
Does it take away every fear?
Well, to a large extent. And from what the meetings we had with them, I even made a suggestion to AGI that I see that the issue might be with the Guta situation. And
the fear factor is there because in previous time we were told of the Russia-Ukraine war and its impact on the Ghanaian economy. We've seen what's happening between Iran and Israel, to the extent that the president has asked the finance minister and the energy minister to monitor the situation. I've heard the OMCs also say that we may likely see an increment in prices of fuel at the pump because of what's happening, far away in Israel and then Iran. And so if the traders are exhibiting a bit of fear, you should understand them and know where they are coming from.
Well, I do understand them, but for me, from where I sit and what I have experienced in the past and what the changes have been in these few months, I think that their fears should be subdued by now, because government sees the impact of exchange rates on all the economic indicators. And so far, even the reason why you find the likes of Fitch changing our ratings to B minus with a stable outlook is mostly on the back of the exchange rate appreciation that we've seen. And I mean, definitely the issues of debt restriction and fiscal consolidation come in, fine, no problem. But I think that generally the government is really focused on making sure that this economy recovers fully. That's why I'm saying that yes, they might have concerns, but looking at how things are going, they might have to take a risk in a way. And the truth of the matter is that when the currency was depreciating, they were quick to adjust their pricing. They made all the revenue, right? So today, if it's dropped, at least cut us some slack. At least start showing signs that okay, this is happening. So let me also start adjusting my prices to some extent. So I think that Guta should be more proactive, as it were. Speak to their people, let them have some comfort. Bank of Ghana is supporting this currency. They have given indication, but the governor is saying that those who think that the currency is going to depreciate, I mean, they are giving you all the comfort, right? In the past, we had something we call moral suasion by Bank of Ghana. So usually they will call you and tell you, if you don't do this, this will happen, that can. So everybody was scared. But today it's a different story. There's actually liquidity, so it is backed by something. So whilst you be concerned in a situation of a moral suasion, today you know that if you don't do it, they will actually take an action that may impact you.
Okay.
And believe you me, if you look at those people who are holding foreign currency as part of their deposits in banks, I think one day maybe just have a session where you consider how much foreign currency were held in individual accounts and even company accounts. Today, when the currency was dropping, it dropped because people are seeing a drop in the value of the money they are holding, and therefore were forced to sell. And that's why there was so much liquidity, to the extent it's a demand supply situation. If you are selling into it, definitely it's going to drop. And that's where we are. I think the only thing that has kept it a bit stable around now is because there was sort of a discussion around keeping it around 10 to 12. That's why. But if that hadn't probably happened, I should think we would have gone down. I think so, for me.
The ratings are in. Fitch says, we are in a good position. You advise government to go back to the international market?
Well, I mean, the ratings is a good indicator for government. But then again, there are some risks if you go global, international. Definitely, I've seen it in the past where we became too comfortable borrowing from the international markets. And mind you, if you go there are so many investors who are there. They are hot money guys. They are long-term investment. Everybody in the investment decision that they make. If you go and take their money, they will bite you when you expect it to be. So if your reserves go down, it's an indication that you are struggling. That's when they'll start buying. Then your currency starts to take a hit. Now, others may go long term. However, all these things become like obligations to government, and these are like semi-annual payments. So, and every 6 months, government will be making payments, just like we've seen the DDEP, where in August and January they make these payments. February, sorry. So, all these comes with its own liquidity management that has to come with it. So, for me, I think that we should be more cautious before going onto the international market, even though things are very positive for us now. And I know that there's quite a lot of people in the global markets who are looking up to Ghana because our interest rate still continues to be very attractive for them. And looking at how the global economy is doing, America is not looking to do any rate hikes anytime soon. So Ghana still will be.
Let's talk about constituency because we got some few minutes to go.
Okay.
You won in a Kofi. You became their member of parliament. You made some promises. Have you started fulfilling them? Some of them.
Well, I mean, politics never comes to a halt. Interestingly. I mean, the day you win the election,
that's the day campaigning for the next election begins.
Exactly. So you really don't have a choice. It's a chicken and egg situation. You always have to be on alert. To be honest, I mean, some of my promises, yes, I've worked on it, and I think that is beginning to yield.
Such as?
Well, my constituency is a bit deprived to the extent that we don't even have a district police station.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so I've been able to work through the police service, and they've literally given us approval to do some construction. So that's going to start in earnest. Also, fire service station, and the biggest issue is youth unemployment.
Yeah, it cuts across everywhere.
My constituency might be more interesting because you find that about 70% of the youth are out of the constituency. They only come there to vote. And come there for festivals and come there for other programs because there are no jobs.
But you have a factory there.
Yes.
The Kofi Juice factory.
Kofi Juice, yes.
It was under the 1D1, under the previous administration.
Yes, the Kofi Juice is there. That's true. However, they are producing below their capacity. So now I know the 24-hour economy. They are having discussions with them basically to inject some money in there and also start up some outgrower jobs for the youth to basically go into agriculture and all that. Myself, I am a pineapple farmer.
Okay.
2022 best pineapple farm in Central Region.
Congratulations.
And, thank you. However, it's an industry which is quite difficult because the inputs are quite expensive. I mean, if you look at between the last 8 years, we used to buy plastic mulch for 800 cedis. It moved to 2,800.
Oh wow!
That was a big hit. So a lot of the farmers are basically looking at how they can get substitute products to produce, and that's one of the big issues that we have. But again, I think that we have land in abundance. The youth are willing to work. We need government support basically to put in a lot of effort by way of machinery and also fertilizer issues and all that. We have my constituency also has fishing. Fortunately, the premix issue is being sorted out. Now people are able to go to fishing and fish, and I mean they get stuff. So generally things are changing, and myself, I'm really committed. The reason why I always tell my people that I joined this political system is I could see the suffering of my people from afar. I mean, I played all my politics in Accra, from Blakema South to West, and then I went to Ekumfi. I got the experience, and I felt that going home with that kind of experience will help me to drive the agenda of Ekumfi to a point where we will develop the whole system. And so far, I can tell you that I have quite a bit of support, and I'm putting things in place, and I'm sure that hopefully my next election won't be that difficult, as it were.
We wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Othniel Eko Kwenu, he's the member of parliament for the Ekumfi constituency. in the Central Region. He was my guest today on Point Blank on Citi 97.3 FM. This is Eyewitness News. It came to you live from our studio here in Accra. Earlier you heard Eno Safo. The show produced by Beverly London, Juliana Odami. Technical assistant Desmond Nyako. My name is Samiri Afi once again. Coming up, the Sports Panorama.